Okay, so this is one of my favorite examples. I apologize for the slowness already. I'm running all these programs to make this work. So this example uses my Xbox Kinect, and what I basically do is use the data from Xbox Kinect to create a basic skeleton. So I do this using OSC and obviously my Kinect. So I'll quickly show you an example. Now before I show you the example, I'm using this program called Synapse, which basically sends OSC messages from my Kinect to processing so I can grab the data. So hopefully this will work. Let's run the sketch. Okay, once the sketch has come up, this is the sketch. I'm going to stand in front of my Kinect and this program called Synapse will bind a skeleton to me, which will then be interpreted to processing, and based on that it will draw my skeleton. There we go. So I grab different pieces of data. So I have the right hand, that's my left hand. This is my right hand. I have my head, which can move. I have my hip, my right knee, left foot. Don't know if you can see that. Right foot, right elbow, left elbow. So I'm using all the joints in my body to create this skeleton. So that's side view. It doesn't look quite 3D, but I can move around in 3D space, and it still draws my skeleton in process. So yeah, that's a very basic sketch using Kinect. So I'll quickly run through the code. So I'm using the OSC P5 library. So first of all, I created a whole bunch of float variables which basically act as the coordinates of each pivot, should I say, of the body. So for example, LHX means left hand X coordinate, LHY means left hand Y coordinate. For another example, REX means right elbow X coordinate, REY means right elbow Y coordinate. So I need these points to be able to plot them in my processing sketch below. In the setup function, I create a new OSC P5 object with the port 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This can be anything, it doesn't matter. And this is standard in OSCP5. This was all in here in the setup. This is my IP address, and this is the port I'm sending it out to. Okay, this is where I draw my skeleton. So my background is black, and I created a function called send data. I'll go through that in a minute. So based on the data I'm receiving, I'm plotting a bunch of ellipses, which acts as the pivots of the skeleton which you saw. So this one is the head skeleton, or the head pivot. So I'm using the head X and head Y coordinates and giving it a width and height of 40, 60. This one is the left hand. I'm using the left hand X and Y coordinates and giving it width of 30, height of 30. And I do the same for each joint or pivot of the body. Okay, this next few lines, based on the ellipses, I draw a bunch of lines which you can say are the bones of the skeleton. So the line function takes 4 parameters. So I'm drawing in this example, I'm joining the left elbow X and Y coordinates to the left hand X and Y coordinates. Okay. Now I mentioned before up here in the draw function, I'm using a function or method I created called send data. So the send data, this is where I receive the messages from the Xbox Connect. And this is the type of message I receive. They have different names. So this one is receiving the right hand joint. This one the left hand joint. And then this next part is pretty basic in OSC. We do basic example in the labs. It uses the same technique. And then this part, I'm sending the data I received to the remote location. And then I have this next function which interprets the OSC message, or the incoming OSC messages. Now this does it for each joint in the body as well. Right elbow, left elbow, right foot, head position, etc. And that's basically the code for this.